It's got to be one of my most top awesome places to do an interview.
My name is Daniel Tardy, from Indianapolis, Indiana originally. I live in Cedar Rapids, Iowa right now. And yeah, I've been listening to Abraham since 2008. So about 8 years.
Was that a turning point for you, Harry?
Absolutely. Absolutely a turning point. I just remember being pretty resistant to anything churchy or spiritual. So it was actually quite a hill for my partner at the time to climb to help me understand the significance of Abraham. Yeah.
You're a young guy, and not only do I see you at these places, last place being Fiji, but I follow you a bit on Facebook, and when you're not in crazy places with me, you're in other places like you were Thailand, and then not only that, when I see you in Thailand, you're going to see somebody, and they look at you like you are the long lost. So what it tells me simply is that you have really, really, really close friendships with people all over the place. So what's the deal? And how long has this been going on?
As far as traveling or just having close?
Well, I think the traveling with the really ramped up thing.
Oh yeah. The traveling absolutely ramped up, I would say, towards the end of last year. I'd been at my job as an electrical engineer working at Rockwell Collins in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I've been at that job since 2007, and also had started a company on the side where I revitalize. I'm a real estate developer on the side, so I was doing those two things and realizing that, oh my gosh, I'm creating this business that serves my soul more than what my paycheck does. And so for the next 5 years, I worked myself out of the job, quit it last year, and then just went to see the world. I mean, it's funny, it was a long-term goal, but I did it right away. As far as, when I quit my job one day, I'll get to travel and do my own thing, and I did it.
You thought one day was a long way away?
One day was, and actually I decided to plan the South Pacific cruise in order to quit my job. So I had no vacation left, and I was like, you know what, I'm going on this trip no matter what. Even though I have no vacation, there's no way I can stay at my job and go on this trip, so I'm just going to go on the trip and have to put my 2 weeks in, 2 weeks before the trip, and that's what I did. So, yeah.
What is your idea of happiness?
Being genuine with yourself, being comfortable and connected to who you are, and being comfortable knowing that will change each day.
What trait do you most admire in other people?
Honesty. And it's really not honesty with myself. With me, it's being honest with themselves, because then we can really connect in a genuine way. We can explore each other in a multi-layered way versus it needing to stay surface level. So people being honest, people being genuine with themselves just allows for a much more deeper connection.
I like that. And how about what trait do you most admire in yourself?
I don't know if easygoing is really a trait, but there's a part of me that...
Isn't it affable? You've heard that word before?
Yeah.
Maybe that?
Yeah, could be. I think I could probably describe it more. There's a part of me that is very humble. There's a part of me that wants to just be a lover in my nature. There's a part of me that seeks family out in strangers.
I like that.
There's a part of me that wants to put love where it may not have been before, or it may not have been perceived before. I'm an uplifter, I'm a teacher, I'm a healer. These are all traits that have shown themselves to me over time. And so I continue to self-discover, to explore who Daniel is. And a place like this is the absolute perfect place to be, to understand that, to explore that.
What are some major life lessons that life has taught you?
Trust in what calls you. Trust in the relationships that call you, trust in situations that call you, trust in a career that calls you, trust in ideas that call you. There's something that is discovered when you do that, and it has an air of effortlessness. And I would say, I mean, a good example probably would be entering into a career that I was mentally equipped for. I could do engineering and do the number crunching and things like that all day, but it didn't necessarily fill me up. And I trusted in that, and then I started to find things that called me, and that's I mean, if I were to summarize it all up, that's what got me to the place I'm at today. The Secret called me. Michael Beckwith, Abraham-Hicks called me. I was able to go towards those things and feel confident that I was heading in the right direction. And in doing so, there's an openness that comes with that, and then you're able to be filled, kind of like an empty cup.
Very nice, Daniel. Very nice. What is your number one passion?
I buy houses that are just absolutely, people don't want to live in them. They're dirty, they're trashy, and I transform those into things that people then highly desire. And so I think transforming things, seeing things as what they truly are, or what they really could be, is huge for me.
Do you have a most treasured possession?
It's just a really simple story. My grandfather and I went fishing one day, and it was probably the best day we had ever had out on this lake in Indianapolis. We probably caught like 20 fish. And when you catch the fish, you can take this, I don't know what you call it, but there's a line that you can hang the fish from. It sounds crazy, but you just allow them to go back into the water, and then they can swim around until you're ready to take them home. And on this day, I was responsible for tying it off on the dock, and towards the end of the day, we were probably catching our last fish and realized that the entire line of fish was gone. This entire line. And it was the most, oh man, it was so disappointing. It was so, like, what? Oh my gosh, like, I was so sad. My grandfather was just trying to console me. And I think it hit me that it's like, this is a big lake, bigger than this pool, way bigger than this pool that we're in, way deeper. But it hit me that we could find those fish. And so what I did was rigged up this jig, this hook on a fishing line, and put it in the water. And I'd say probably after 30 minutes, in a tire infested, in a log infested, trash infested, whatever's in there, was able to pull these fish out. Huh. And this item was buried in a bait and tackle box. I'd completely forgotten about it. And a few months ago, a lady named Kimber Allen, who is an amazing medium, had a conversation with me, and she was channeling my grandfather. And my grandfather came through really strong. And he said to her, tell Daniel to grab the box that's in the basement of his house, and that there's something in it that he needs, and he'll recognize it when he sees it. He'll know it immediately. And this is over a text message. And I'm not in back home, I'm not in Iowa. So I think there were maybe another 3 weeks and 3-4 weeks until I was able to be home, and I couldn't wait to tackle this box, the tackle box. And And I was also nervous. I was nervous that I would not identify what it is. It's just indescribable to have someone come in and say, non-physically, that there's something that's in here. You just pray that you know what it is. Because I thought it was maybe like a gold watch or something that, you know, he had hidden in the box. And so I'm digging through this box, I'm pulling everything out of this box. And I pulled everything out. Nothing really stuck out to me. And then I just got quiet and looked at what I had out on the countertop. And then it just hit me. This energy just sat on me. Just this affirmative energy that, oh my gosh, this little string with a little needle on the end of it is exactly what he was pointing me to. And for me, it represented, the thing that she told me is that this is something that will once you find it, you keep it close. This is something that will keep his energy around you forever. And when I found it, what it represented for me was doing something that seems impossible. Just trying to do something that seems impossible, just to see what happens. Just dipping that hook and that line in the sinker in the water, just to see what happens. Let's see out of this lake of impossibility. Let's see what's possible. Let's see what we can pull out. Let's see what we can find. And that's been huge for me. So at this point, I would have to say that is probably the thing that I keep very close to me. It's very close to my heart.
Thank you for that. That was nice.
Good story.
What is the craziest thing that you believe?
Oh man, I don't think there's anything that's even crazy anymore.
Right.
I don't think there's anything crazy anymore.
What do you do for fun? I mean, I know that's a big question, but you know, what are the things you like to do for fun?
Life is fun. Everything I do is fun. Everything I involve myself with at this point in my life is fun.
Looks like that on Facebook.
Yeah. And don't let Facebook fool you. I maybe only post like 2% of the fun that I have.
Do you have a motto, words you live by?
Be who you're becoming.
Okay.
Be who you're becoming.
What brings you joy?
Traveling. Traveling represents discovering new possibilities. I've traveled and not had places to stay, went a day too early, and just trusted that, you know, it's gonna all work out. I'm gonna find like the most amazing people, and they're gonna absolutely take me in. They're gonna point me in the right direction. And traveling, man, like being away from home, being in some place that you're not familiar with, gives you the opportunity to just see who you are in a different environment. You know, what are you made of? How much do you trust the world? Because the world is huge. The world is massive. And depending on what you're tuned into in the world, like there's infinite possibilities of what could happen in the world. And there's something magical that happens when you trust the world to just hold you in its bosom. There's something magical about that.
All right, this is my wrap-up question. So it's a vlog we do, and the vlog is called Amplified Life.
Which I love.
Yeah. And the reason we're interviewing you is that you are obviously living an amplified life, which makes you expert enough to tell us what does it mean to live an amplified life.
Oh man. An amplified life, a supercharged life. A life, think of an amplifier. An amplifier is something that connects to a source and creates a bigger output. And that's us. Like we are amplifiers. We are amplifiers of source energy. And it's simple living an amplified life. It's absolutely simple. People make it hard, and I've been there before. I've absolutely made life difficult, but now I'm realizing how easy it is, and I think it's a constant unfolding. Like, it's never smooth sailing for long, because a new desire will come about, a new question will come about that requires you to go a little deeper into who you are. Like, who you are is endless. Who you are is infinite. And so in the time that you have on earth is the time that you have to peel back the layers of who you think you are to figure out who you actually are. And then who you actually are becomes, again, who you think you are, and you continue to play that game of peeling back those layers. And I think that's living an amplified life.
So awesome, man.
Thank you, Daniel. That was wonderful.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Like, I get like this itch, I'm just put me back there. I will figure my music out. Like, I'll figure it out.
That's what it did. I own 2